Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment...
We have time. What do you want to...
It's the same topic we discussed last...
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real Huh?
I presume you'll want to read mine...
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about...
What did you find out?
It's a long story.
Wow, so
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. Ugh. So there's no ghost...
This new information actually lends further...
Yes, okay, point taken.
And they're back at it.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us. Prattle...
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
The wind rises.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon. Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until... The balladeer? It sounds like... You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look... That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from... But how is... As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone... So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him? Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivation. I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was the story makes sense. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was unsuccessful. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul. Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in... It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return. Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us. What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look. Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it? I authored this record myself. Huh? You? When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is enough. Hold on. So this record survived from... Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono and other records will have been changed. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written... That's incredible! What a great... And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present, but if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you... Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said... The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful... The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kittens, how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer story. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his... I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside...
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of... Paimon has no memory of him at all.
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where you're... We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, so the answer is not everything. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to others looking on. This may seem like a pointless endeavor. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a... And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go...
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out...
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers.
The wind rises. Behold!
We're here! What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat. What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look...
Leave it to me. I'll find some more.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander...
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Ah, guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want to...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in...
That's odd.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you. Okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked some more.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without... Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me...
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting.
Right now. Right here.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the...
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across to Vat to train yourself. many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called, previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past.
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, okay. I see. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my... If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt, but I'll be able to handle it.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes...
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
in terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch-enemy, but now he's just some random... He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom...
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience...
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him?
Oh, good point. Given your,
Understood.
Thank you. Now.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extract. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that...
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation...
Is that because this is...
You could say...
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built... No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. There's someone past...
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you... Not a scratch.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Bikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion.
And the rest is history. Well...
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long as the second-in-command at Tatarasuna. Responsibility for what had happened fell, but Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
It's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
What are we doing back here?
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then...
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer, after his mother died, the child stayed in their straw. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast.
Think you can bully me? Can't handle your drink. Huh.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once...
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course...
What a sharp tongue. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what...
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible. And don't let your...
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending. By then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to...
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story.
Yes. Please.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties. Too slow.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his...
Welcome. I look forward.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is...
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible, in the event that a...
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any...
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with...
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to... No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject...
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me, but then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaim... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, so I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free?
A puppet? What's he doing here?
It's...
You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is... my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Insignificant pest!
Search for it. Upon the gale.
Feeble human!
The wind rises.
At my command, you shall fall! You dare to gaze upon me?
Squall Fury.
Perish! My endless cycle begins!
The wind rises.
Insignificant pest!
No time to... Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too! What?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler. Paimon.
It feels like we just...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can care. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui. And they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of...
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part, but before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it, Traveler. In the future, I'll continue to search, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened, I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And, well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back. Everything that you feel is real and lasting. And whatever is to be human is to live with imperfections. You can...
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just... The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will be.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal.
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick it up.
Why?
Because...
Then I hope we don't see much of each other.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new...
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name, you're...
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet? Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the fatigue?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it...
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden, even though the events have been erased from the world.
I see.
Huh? But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest. What's that look for? That day will come. All right. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
he's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire...
Yeah, true. But even so, after so we can finally go eat?
Thank you both. I hope you...
I've got it! I can end my...
You mean...
Yeah! I heard that the dark clouds. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized all these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise. Life is a story.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness... Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something?
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. When a small animal runs into a